Fear. To say that I'm fearless would be a lie. To say that you're fearless would also be a lie. Now, I don't know you personally, and you probably don't know me personally, but I'm pretty sure you and I both know we're afraid of something, that even though we don't want to admit it, we're afraid of something. I can admit it, I have fears. Whether I want to admit to having them or not is a totally different story. Whether I want to admit what my fears are, again, it's another totally different story. I can gladly say it's not spiders or heights. We need fear to survive. Without fear, we wouldn't survive. And I know that sounds really, really strange to hear that. Why do we need fear to survive? Out of fear, we will survive. If it was a zombie apocalypse, a lot of people say it's the brave that will survive. No, I believe wrong. I believe it's the guys that are scared shitless are going to survive because they do anything to survive. Zombies can't swim, so just go live on an island in some random ocean. Another great thing about fear, it also generates adrenaline. Now, of course, adrenaline can be gotten from other things such as sports and attempting something new and that's scary to you. And there we go. Straight back into fear. Fear is a scare tactic. Fear is a psychological thing. Fear is something that stops you from doing something. Why not have it generate adrenaline for you? Face a fear. If you are afraid of roller coasters and afraid of heights, face that fear. Get in a roller coaster. Face your fear of a roller coaster. Face your fear of a height. After that initial drop, it's only fun and games from there, baby. Of course, there's loads of other different fears that you may have. You got the fear of flight, scared of the dark, fear of thunder and lightning, spiders, I already said that, and heights, I already said it, roller coasters, I already said it. But there's so many others. Another one that is very common in people is claustrophobia, being afraid of confined spaces. The great thing about these fears I've just mentioned, you can overcome and face these fears by exposing yourself bit by bit to them, or you can just take them head on and overcome them that way. Of course, personally for me, if you're going to overcome a fear, I would take a step-by-step route to doing it. Probably the best one that I know that worked for me as a child was getting over this fear of the dark. But if you are afraid of the dark, there is a method to overcoming it. Now, I don't know if it's going to work for you guys, but it worked for me. And that was start off small. Leave the light on and go to sleep and with the light on, and then have your parents come in and turn it off. Soon you won't need the light being on beside you, and you leave the door wide open with all the light pouring into the room. And eventually the door will start to close ever so closely to the door frame, to a point where it finally goes click and shuts. Congratulations, you finally come over the fear of being afraid of the dark. Now, of course, this doesn't always work for people. There are people I know that are adults and a lot older than me that are afraid of the dark, and it is a psychological thing. And it could be the case something happened in the room when they were younger, or to you when they're younger in the dark, and it just really just spooks you so badly that you are damaged for life. But that's just one thing I think that's a fear that you can face on your own with time and taking it step by step. There is nothing wrong with admitting that you are afraid of something. I personally am afraid of certain things. I don't like to talk about these certain things because they do scare me to a point where I actually won't sleep. But at the same time, there are things that I know if it do happen, I'll just go and have to bust on with my life. And like that, I don't want them to control me. And some people, when it comes to fears, do let the fear control you. Sometimes I've noticed with certain people that I know, they've let their fear of certain things control them to a point where it's not even fun to be around them. I have a friend who is very claustrophobic, and going to areas where there's no stairs and only escalators and elevators, it's not fun. It's not fun. But in conclusion to this video, we need fear. Fear is good. Don't be afraid of fear. If you don't fear something, that's pretty cool. You are totally awesome. Go run in some traffic. Really don't run in some traffic because that's just stupid. But yeah. Anyway, this is this week's video. I shall see you all Monday, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Bye. Go run in some traffic.